no matter the location. From O-A-K-L-A to L-V, I'm a Raider.
Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. If you haven't already, hit that big red button underneath the video that says sub. And if you're wondering how can I get my questions on a Raiders Report, you got to join me on my Tuesday live show, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. This first question's coming in. It's from Big Time Willie. I appreciate the super chat. Do we need Adams if we have Waller, Ruggs, Edwards, Renfro, and Josh Jacobs? Do you need Davante Adams? Maybe not. Does he make you better, though? Yes, 100%. Now, my argument has always been this. If Ruggs and Edwards go ahead and they ball out this year, maybe you don't need to go out and get Davante Adams. If Ruggs or Edwards struggle, then you can go out and get him. But do you need him? No. Does he make you better? Does he make you have a better chance of going out and getting a Super Bowl ring and making your quarterback happy? Yes. All right, we got Gary Marsh. What up, man? R.I.P. Ricardo Diaz. Everyone, if Ricardo's a member of the nation and Gary's going to go ahead and super chat, type R.I.P. in the comments. Lost to freaking cancer. Yep, F cancer, dude. It's the worst. The Raiders sent him a huge care package and a shield signed by everyone on the team. That's awesome. I'm glad the Raiders did that. But, Gary, sorry for your loss. Ricardo Diaz and his entire family, I'm sorry. All right, let's go to Jack. What up, my man? Who do you think would be a sleeper to be a captain on either offense or defense? Love the show. Keep it up. My girlfriend says the exact same thing. I would go ahead and say Nicholas Morrow could be a sleeper to be a captain. Even somebody like Richie Incognito. Derek Carr's obviously going to be a captain. I'll say Nick Kwiatkowski's going to be a captain. Don't be surprised if either Crosby or Ngakoue also some captains. But in terms of a sleeper, I'll go ahead and say Nicholas Morrow. So if you guys got a question, you must be subbed. The only way you're going to get your questions on the show is if you are subscribed to the Raiders Report. And the reason why I do that is because, guess what? We are a free channel. It's the way that we can turn our lights on when we have more subscribers. And I want to give love to people that take that second and hit that sub button. Now, it's also, we got the preseason coming up. Training camp is here. You're not going to find another channel that is as interactive as we are and keeps you updated going on everything around the Las Vegas Raiders. All right, we got one coming in now from Johnny Smith. Which Raiders player on offense are you watching closely at camp? Oh, boy. Henry Ruggs is probably going to be my top guy just because I want to see if he can actually be that number one dude. Brian Edwards is going to be somebody that I watch very, very closely. How does Alex Leatherwood handle the right side of the offensive line, especially if he's going up against Yannick Ngakoue? What does Andre James look like at center? Those are obviously some of the players jumping out at me. Even John Brown. Can John Brown fill the shoes of somebody, you know, a lot like a Nelson Aguilar? So those are probably some of the guys that I'm watching most closely on offense. All right, y'all, so what I want you to do now is give me a name. Which player on offense are you watching the most in camp? I'd actually probably also throw out Kenyon Drake. I want to see how the Raiders use him, especially if they're trying to use him as a joker. So if you're watching this live, if you watch this on a later date, let me know which player on offense are you watching in camp. Super chat time, David Rivera. It's my birthday tomorrow, but shout out my son, #1 Raider fan, Arion. Did I get that right? Arion or Arion? Hopefully I got that right. David, happy birthday to you, and I believe that's your son in the picture, or you just found some random kid on the street without a shirt and decided to take a picture with him. But either way, happy birthday, Arion. I'm glad you're a Raider fan. It's Raider Nation for life. Let's go to Emmanuel. You're next up here, dude. How is Morehig doing in the new system? Well, unfortunately, we haven't really heard too much about Morehig exactly yet because training camp just started. I know the rookies started on the 24th, but I don't have too much reports of what he's done yet. But I am very confident. He was my #1 safety coming out of the draft. But in terms of how is he doing thus far on Tuesday, July 27th, I haven't gotten too many updates. I'm sorry. Let's go to Fadeaway. 84, going to my first Raider game, Week 17 versus the Colts. Dude, you're going to have an unbelievable time. If you're also there, if you have a chance to do the Raider Stadium tour, absolutely you have to do it. And don't be cheap. Pay for the $80 one. You get on the field. You get a beer afterwards. If you're over 21, it's 100% worth it. All right, we got Robert Hudson. What's up, dude? Going to Vegas for a game this year. F the price. Who's going to be Abrams' Bash brother? Ooh, Abrams' Bash brother. Well, I'll say if you're just going to talk about who's going to be able to play that Jonathan Abram role in terms of a box safety, Carl Joseph is a name to keep in mind, and Divine Diablo. I love double Ds, and I also love Divine Diablo and what he's going to be able to bring to this defense here. He's big, he's physical, and if he can just stay healthy, I know he's battling an injury right now. I know there was a report that came out that was basically like He had a knee cleanup. He's going to be okay for the preseason, this and that. But I'm thinking in terms of Bash Brothers, Carl Joseph, Divine Diablo, Jonathan Abram. All right, we got another super chat coming in here from Daniel. Okay, Mitch. Next season, Raiders have $53 million to spend. Do you see us signing a superstar, or bunch of B players? Do you know that movie reference? I don't know. I think I broke Sam. So I still think we don't know how much money the Raiders do have to spend, simply because that cap could go up even more. I mean, you just don't, you never know. And you also don't know which players are going to play well, which guys are going to stink, which guys you're going to give raises to. But if after a year of the amount of money that the Raiders are going to go ahead and make just from ticket sales alone, they're going to have a lot more cash to spend. They're going to be able to go out and give a lot more guaranteed deals. And, yes, I do think the Raiders can go out and get superstars. And superstars would be smart to come to Las Vegas because it's a growing city market and there's no taxes, so you can make a little bit more money. All right, we got a question coming in now from Tyler M. I know you predicted 10-7, but has that changed at all? I'm going to stick to my guns at 10-7. I haven't seen too many different things. I haven't seen too many other, reports or whatnot to make me change that. So I'm going to go ahead and say 10-7 for the Las Vegas Raiders. If you guys want to go ahead and bet on the Raiders the entire season, where do you got to do it? We got the #1 deal on the internet. Head on over to chatsports.com/Raiders. Use that promo code Raiders125 if you're like, Mitch, what the hell does that mean? It means this. When you go to that link, and you have to go to this link or nothing else that I say matters because then I don't get credit, you get a 125% deposit bonus. So you deposit $100, you get $125 for free to go ahead and bet with. If $125 for free to bet with isn't good enough, what about a free Davante Adams jersey? So listen up right now. If the Raiders go out and they trade for Davante Adams, I'm going to give you a free Davante Adams jersey, but you have to go to chatsports.com/Raiders. You have to use promo code Raiders125, and you have to do it before August 1st. So all that, think about it. So if you want that Adams jersey, you got to do it before August 1st. Now, if you're like, wait a minute, what am I going to bet on? Well, how about this? Here are some fun bets that I got. For the Raiders to win the AFC West, if you risk $5, you can win $80 if the Raiders go ahead and they win the AFC West. Do you think the Raiders are going to beat the Ravens? Risk $5, you can win $9. If you think that the Raiders are going to win the Super Bowl, risk $5 to win $300. Now, you don't have to just risk 5. You can risk 10, you can risk 20, you can risk 50. Like if you risk 5 or $10 on them to win the AFC West, you win $160. So if you have any questions, if you have any, concerns about anything that I just said, hit me up on Instagram. I'm at MitchellRenz365 because I want to get some people started with BetUS. It's a lot of fun. And, hey, if they go out and get Davante Adams, you got yourself a free Raiders jersey. All right, we got Sports Splash. Should the Raiders go out and sign David DeCastro? I'm actually surprised that DeCastro hasn't retired yet. He was let go by the Pittsburgh Steelers, and then I think it was like literally the next day or a few hours later, they went out and signed guard Trey Turner. When healthy, he is good. The issue is, I believe he's getting ready to go under, or he had his third surgery on his leg. I know a lot of people in Pittsburgh, and I know a lot of people love David DeCastro. The issue is this. I still think he retires, and I am really, really worried about the injury. So I'm going to go ahead and say no on going out and getting DeCastro. I also know the Raiders are very confident in John Simpson in case Denzel Good or somebody like Richie Incognito ends up going down with an injury. All right, y'all, so you guys are watching the Raiders Report. If you want to get your questions on the show, hashtag Raiders, or you can go ahead and super chat. I got Aaron Sosa. Mitch, why did we sign another punter if A.J. Cool is already good? Competition? I mean, it's basically as simple as that. The more competition you can add to a certain position, you go ahead and do it. I also think it has more to do with the kicking battle between Daniel Carlson. Remember, they gave him a kind of a new deal, if you will, compared to Dominic Eberle. It was just clear that Carlson was going to win. So A.J. Cool is good. But if this kid's a little bit better and you can save some money, I mean, it's a punter. You literally never know. All right, what up, B-Rabe? Name three upset games the analysts have the Raiders losing but end up winning. Raiders! All right, so if I would say some upset games, by the Baltimore Ravens right off the bat, I had the Raiders winning that game. I don't know if they'll beat the Chiefs again, but everybody and their brother has them losing to the Chiefs, and we know the Raiders outplayed them for 8 quarters. Shout out Harrison. I would go also ahead and say, I mean, they have a really tough slate of games early on. I know a lot of people have been hyping up the Chargers. Like, I saw USA Today project the Chargers to go 11-6. So I have the Raiders beating the Chargers both times because it's basically 2 home games for them. So how about that? You guys let me know 3 upset games for the Raiders. Let's go to D6 Raiders. What up, my man? Which Raider on defense should we look out for at training camp? I would have said Davante Adams because Nick Wachowski, when I interviewed him on Sunday, he said that was a player that he was really excited to see. So I'm going to change up my answer here a little bit. I want to see how good Gakwe is. And while I'm giving you guys mine, please go down in the comments. Let me know. Name a player on defense that you guys want to be watching in camp. I want to see Jonathan Abram, how much he can step up and if he's actually maturing on and off the field. How is Damon Arnett playing? What is Casey Hayward's role exactly? Who's going to be playing in the slot? A lot of different options, but I can also say this, man. I'm going to be watching the entire defense because if I got to watch what I watched last year, my hair is going to be silver and black. Probably just silver. Speaking of Nick Wachowski, another reason to go ahead and subscribe to the Raiders Report. We're going to be doing a whole bunch of new videos here as we get closer to preseason and the regular season. If you want to see the interview I did with Nick Wachowski, go check it out on the channel, youtube.com/Raiders Report. So the show that I'm doing right now is what's known as a mailbag. I answer questions from you. If you want to see how Nick Wachowski answered questions from Raider Nation, guess what? Go check it out. It's on the channel. So both of these videos, one went out on Monday, July 26th. The other one went out on July 25th on Sunday. So please check it out. Let me know what you guys have to think. Maybe, just maybe, I'll be able to get more Raiders interviews this season. All right, we got Walt. What's up, Walt? Shouldn't we go get linebacker KJ Wright? I will say I'm very surprised that he's still out there on the free agent market. Maybe he's asking for a little bit too much money. Do I think that Wright would probably be the best linebacker on our team? I actually probably would go ahead and say that. He's still an elite player, knows the defensive scheme as well. But it's not the biggest need for the Raiders. So depending on what he's asking for money, like that means you have KJ Wright, Nick Wachowski, Corey Littleton, Nicholas Morrow. That's 4 players that you're going to have to figure out a way to get on the field. The Raiders are already very confident in their linebacking room. Now, I know we don't have a question about this, but when I do this show live on Tuesdays, I do think it's funny. I got an update. Trent Brown, he just got put on the COVID list again, so FTB. Let's go to Ryan. What up, man? Who will surprise us the most this season on defense? Biggest surprise on defense? Ooh, that's a really, really good question. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to throw out the name of Corey Littleton because I believe in terms of a bounce-back player, it's going to be him. He was one of the best coverage linebackers before he became a Raider. The Paul Gunther defense is super, super confusing. Kwiatkowski said it on my interview when Littleton spoke about the defense last year. He said it was really confusing. I really do think that Littleton is one of the best linebackers in the league, and he was bad last year. So in terms of who's going to surprise us, I'm going to go ahead and say Corey. All right, Chad, Mitch, with the Drake pickup, who would you draft in fantasy, Drake or Jacobs? I mean, I'm taking Josh Jacobs. If you're asking me just overall who is going to have more fantasy points this upcoming season, Josh Jacobs or Kenyon Drake, the answer to me is very easy in saying Jacobs. But in terms of overall value, Jacobs right now you probably have to take in the 2nd, 3rd round. Drake you're probably going to have to take in the 5th or 6th round. That Drake value, especially in a PPR league, might be a little bit better. Now, if I don't get to your question, don't yell at me. Yell at Sam because he's the one that picks them. No, I'm kidding. But if you want to go ahead and ask me any question, you can always do it on IG at MitchellRenz365. I've also started doing weekly live Instagram videos simply because I want to be able to talk to you guys a little bit more now that we're getting close to the season. Plus, Instagram, obviously, it's sometimes a little bit easier for me to bring you guys on when I do my IG Lives. We can talk it out. Easier way to meet people. So, if you have a question for me, if you want to watch IG Lives, at MitchellRenz365. I have no idea how to pronounce this name. NL, or N-Leach Spa. N-Leach Chapa. All right, remember what Gruden said, the best players will start. What does this mean if Arnett is an opening day starter? See, what I actually think it means is they're going to try to line up Arnett as an outside corner and then maybe throw Casey Hayward into the slot those first 2 weeks because Nevin Lawson is suspended. So, like, he might be an opening day starter, but that doesn't mean he's going to be an everyday starter after week 2. I mean, we'll see. I hope that he can start because if he's starting over Casey Hayward, that's a good sign for our defense. I mean, that doesn't mean Hayward's playing bad. I don't think he's going to play bad. I believe that means good things from Arnett. Now, does he deserve a pass from last year? Absolutely. Broke his hand, had to deal with COVID, lost some weight. He looks like he's in better shape. I know he's not always posting the right things on social media, but just because you don't post something on social media doesn't mean you're not putting in the work, and I know Arnett's been putting in the work. All right, we got a super chat coming in from Gary. What up, brother? Are there any other nickel corners remaining that are worth assigning? Oh, and Walt is here is a straight biatch. All right, I don't know. Walt, apparently you're not very popular among Gary. So, Gary, I would say the only other nickel corner would be probably Nikhil Roby-Coleman. I was really pissed off when I saw Brian Poole going to the New Orleans Saints because that was a player that I really, really wanted. So I'm going to go ahead and say Nicole Roby-Coleman if he's still out there on the market as of the time when you guys see this on a later date. So please go ahead, just keep that in mind. All right, this next one's coming in from Raider Nation. From seeing our moves during the offseason for our defense and training camp right now, do you think our defense is top 20, 25? I mean, damn, I sure hope so. If we're not a top 20, 25 defense again, we're talking about a long, long year. Literally, in Derek's entire career with the Raiders, he's never had a top 20 defense. On paper, this is a top 20 unit, and I am not afraid to go ahead and say that. So, and if you guys thought I forgot about something, hang on. Raiders! Let's go to Raider J. What up, my man? Player you think will earn another contract next off season? I think Solomon Thomas will be real good for us. I do think that Solomon's going to have the best year he's ever had. I don't know what exactly that's going to mean in him getting another contract because, let's face it, the Raiders have a lot of one-year contracts. I mean, they simply do. I'll say don't be surprised if after this season the Raiders give Max Crosby a contract extension because out of all the players drafted in 2019, the top priority for extending a player needs to be Max Crosby. Let's go to Untouchable Raider 1960. Thoughts on DJ? So this is the quarterback from Clemson. I can never get his last name right. I don't even know if you pronounced it. So, yes, he did tweet that he wanted to be a Raider, but he said it because he wants to be close to his family. So it's not just because he bleeds silver and black. It's because he wants to be close to his family. I'd put him behind DC, see how he plays, and once okay, so I still want to be able to see what he can do at the quarterback position because he had some ups, he had some downs. I get it in that one game when, Trevor Lawrence wasn't able to play, or was it 2 weeks, I believe. But he's got some arm talent. Obviously, to go to Clemson, you got to be talented. And I've always said that I want a quarterback to sit behind Derek Carr and learn for a year if that's the route that they're going to go. But you're definitely not the only person that has brought up the name DJ. But I might actually – you guys know I'm not the biggest fan of Spencer Rattler. I might take Rattler over him.